Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do under these very, very difficult circumstances. Welcome to episode 13 of Daily Live Chat with John. I hope you're all doing well and had a fantastic VE day. Obviously, it's a very, very important day today. It's really difficult to put into words how really important Victory in Europe Day is and was. Because at the end of the day, this was a day that absolutely ensured that we all got to live in relative freedom. I know it doesn't feel like it at the moment, but it really, really was freedom in comparison to how things could have been. We could have been really under very, very dangerous dictatorship. But 75 years later, we are having this conversation. So, guys, I hope you, as it's Friday night as well, for that matter, I've got my beer all nice and cool in honor of today. So let's have a toast. I hope you all adhered to the 2-minute silence at 11 o'clock this morning. If any of you didn't, then I'm very, very disappointed in the loss of you. But guys, seriously, it's a very, very important day today. A lot of people gave their lives to ensure that we had a absolutely perfect life thereafter. And they have. So let's have a toast. Unfortunately, I wish I could find a woman that could give me this amount of head. It's ridiculous, but as you can see, look, anyone got a flake spare? Anyone? But cheers, happy Friday, everybody, happy bank holiday, and here's to everybody that lost their lives 75 years plus, and afterwards as well, for that matter, that gave us the freedom. Nice cool beer. Neil says, evening, South Australia at 3 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Robert Agresco, morning, everyone. Hello, mate. Very nice of you to say what you said on my Twitter account. That was very nice of you. Vernon says, morning from Vancouver. Hello, guys. Stuart Russell says, good afternoon. This is afternoon from England and Stourbridge. Cool. Hello, mate. Robert says, giving a cheer with my coffee. It is 10 o'clock in the morning for him, but fair enough. But yeah, guys, as I say, Friday afternoon for the rest of us. Chin chin, or the translation from Chinese to English, which I know Chinese is not exactly the thing to say at the moment, but apparently chin chin means penis. So chin chin. Mark Kerslake, hello, mate. Hello, buddy from Cyprus. Very nice country. Went there a couple of years. Where are we? Three years ago. Really, really enjoyed it. Right. So, okay. So, guys, as you saw from the title, video, and also the title of this live stream as well, this is an open Q&A, so you can ask me questions at any point. I just want to say thank you very much to the the 4 people over the last 24 hours that got us to the 15:30, and you guys would have heard the song that I sung last night, Whatever by Oasis. Apparently, Noel Gallagher's a little bit strapped for cash because I had a copyright claim for the song that I did. So I'm sharing any revenue from that with the music publishers, which I understand. I get, because at the end of the day, it's a performing rights society and all that. But they don't need. They don't. I wouldn't have thought he would have needed the money. But you never know. You never know. I told his brother as well, for that matter, and he hasn't come back. But yeah, and also there's a couple of people that subscribed today as well. So we're on 1532. So we've finally been able to securely smash that 1530 type glass ceiling, shall we say? And it's been good. I'm very, very happy, as you can tell. I've been out in the sun as well, for that matter. Hence me looking a little bit sweaty. But yeah, I've really, it's been absolutely brilliant. Darren, good morning, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Henry, good evening. Hope you're good. And Hivad, I can't pronounce that, so apologies, mate. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. HAP from Iceland. Cool. Welcome. Everybody's welcome all over the world. Right. So first bit of business. As I said at the beginning of it, the beginning of this live stream, is everybody knows that it's Victory in Europe Day. And the interesting thing this morning was quite surprised at this, in a very, very good way, that it is a bank holiday today as well in Berlin. Only in Berlin in Germany. but it's a bank holiday today, and I can understand the reasons why, because they've given everybody a bit of a break. You know, it's good from that side of things. I'm very, very impressed with how the Germans have handled themselves today. You know, because today isn't normally a bank holiday either. So for us in the UK, so it's nice to have a bank holiday. I've booked Monday off, so I've got a 4-day weekend. Got a mini projector that came today, which I'm going to try and get set up properly. It's not looking all that brilliant, so I've ordered another one just in case, but I'm going to be using that for the watch-alongs, which are going to come very, very soon. So keep an eye out for those. I'm going to do the 64 FA Cup final. I'm going to do the 75 FA Cup final. I'm going to do the 1980 FA Cup final watch-alongs. Might do the 2006 as well, for that matter. But there's new formats coming along all the time. I'm constantly thinking of stuff. If you want to, and some of it actually might be purely for the Patreon account. So if you want to support the channel and see exclusive content, then click on the Patreon account in the description below. There's 3 tiers. Go read it out. I'm not going to go through it now. We've got quite a fair bit to talk about, and I've been waffling for 6 minutes already. So Verna says Beatles or Stones. Oh, you sod. I'm surprised nobody's asked that. No one's asked that before, to be honest with you, Vernon. I'm very surprised nobody has asked that. I love them equally. I really, really love them equally. But as from a musical point of view, and with this little baby and my other 2, it's Beatles. I don't know any song. Well, I know a few Rolling Stones songs, but the Beatles are more fun to play. So it just, that again, just a little bit of a hash there. But Robert, I will have to go with the Stones. I love the blues sound, the traditional R&B, rhythm and blues format that's gone to the dogs, shall we say? Darren says going global tonight, JP. Yep, I am. Wally, good afternoon, mate. Cheers to you, Gazer. Cheers to everybody else that's in the chat, by the way. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. It's nice to see a lot of returning people and a few new faces as well, so that's good. So Robert says hello, Wally. Hey Batman, haha, Fo with his nicknames. Yeah, guys, that's been interesting actually. I'm gonna ask Fo if he comes in, but I'm curious as to how but Robert got the Batman nickname, or so Robert, let us know. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on with it. So I say, ask me any questions at any point. Now, this is the very interesting thing. Stepping aside from West Ham for a few seconds. Various sources are repeating that the EFL Leagues 1 and 2 are to be abandoned, and points per game calculation to decide promotion and relegation is going to be the deciding factor. Very, very similar to how it was in Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 over in France. So let me know what you think on that, because if that's gonna be the case, then it's only a matter of time before that same thinking happens to the Championship and the Premier League. We'll obviously find out more on Monday what the announcement is, and when that happens, I will do it once the statement goes up. That I find it, I'll do it straight away. I'll do a live announcement about it on top of the evening videos as well. So keep an eye out for that, because that's nice to have a day off. Is what a day off does for you. Joan, happy VE Day to you too. Ben Davis says, all right, everyone. What, guys? Robert says, I tried bat soup in Fuji prior to the pandemic. Ah, okay. Because I know there was the newspaper article said when it was released who the patient was. It did say Batman. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. And just out of curiosity, Robert, what was it like? Was it nice? Obviously, the sales of it are going to dip massively in Chinatown for the next few years, but yeah, let me know what it was. Joan says, as long as Coventry get promoted, got a real soft spot for them. Joan, I take it they're quite local to you then, are they? Peter Jones, hello, mate. You look a little bit flushed on the cheeks. Yeah. Well, I've always got rosy cheeks here anyway, ever since I moved from Surrey over to East London / Essex. But yeah, I had a fair bit of time in the sun today, I'm not going to lie. Neil from Down Under asks, how about a shout out for Florian Schneider, co-founder of German group Kraftwerk, who died this week? Did not know that. That is a shock. So rest in peace, Florian. Very, very good band, electronic pop band from the 80s. Early to mid 80s, if I remember correctly. Very, very good. Robert said soup was great, but the bat was too rubbery. I wouldn't recommend it. Fair enough. Armo, hello, guys. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing all right, mate. And thank you very much for that very kind Instagram message you sent me the other last week. I think it was. Cheers to you, fella. This is the only one I've got, so I'm not going to be drinking too much. Darren says about the EFL leagues, it's about time. This pandemic has been bigger than anything, even football. Yeah, agreed. And I really hope the Premier League and the government are realising that. I really, really do. I mean, the government obviously know about it, but anyway, I talked about the anniversary yesterday of Lasagna Gate. Today's anniversary, the year after Lasagna Gate. Sorry, the year before Lasagna Gate, I should say. 15 years ago, we secured a win to go to the playoff final by beating Watford 2-1. 2005. The 2004-2005 season. 15 bloody years ago. I honestly don't know where time's going. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. Jones says, no, I'm a Londoner dweller, but loved Coventry since the 70s when they were a top team. It's a sky blue kit. Fair enough, Joan. Fair enough. Armo just says, can we just scrap 2020? Mate, the way this year's going, I'm telling you what, man, it's ridiculous. You know? No problem, mate. You're the best. My what? Oh, you WHU apostrophe RE, you mean there. Here we go. School teacher points again. If Wally says points per game mean we stay out, then I'm all for it. Yes, Wally, it is. Apparently, we finished 15th, if I remember correctly. We talked about it last week. Joan says, I thought 20. Do you know what? Yeah, I'll read it out and just say it in a second. I thought 2020 was going to be a good year. I'm always wrong with predictions. Do you know what, Joan? When you said that, the first thing that popped into my mind was Tommy by the Who. And I think 21 is gonna be a good year. It's next year. Yeah. Because obviously Tommy's based at just after the Second World War, or it was the first, yes, just before the, well, anyway, whatever. According to the movie, it's after the Second World War. But anyway, so guys, to say, can you honestly believe it's been 15 years since we got the playoff final? And when we got, of course, when we got promoted under Pards as well, for that matter. Talking of special dates, today's anniversary is Mark Noble. He turns 33 today. From what it's 33 today. So, Mark, if in the very unlikely event that you're watching this, chin chin to your nobs. Happy birthday, mate. And also, one thing I forgot to mention yesterday was, even when we were talking about Stevie Potts, it was his birthday yesterday as well. So apologies for not mentioning that. And again, Steve, if you're watching, happy birthday. Vernon says 2 days in a row called out to work. Cheers, JP. It's a good thing you keep them busy, mate. I'm very happy for that. Robert says, I think all leagues are looking at what happens to Bundesliga before they make a decision. Jones says, okay, JP, 2021 will be a good one. Neil says, happy birthday, Nobes. Stanley, working or furloughed. I'm working at the moment, Stan. Good to see you, mate. I'm missing football and the black ball. Do you think the season will finish and we will stay up? I think neutral grounds will be our downfall. I think, yeah, agreed, mate, on both of those side of things. Let's say, because if you're just tuning in, Stan, I don't know how long you've been watching, mate. Excuse me, one moment. I just need to get rid of an idiot. Right. Yeah, I don't know if you tuned in earlier, Stan, right from the beginning, but we were saying that the EFL Leagues 1 and 2 are going to be cancelled with, well, it looks like it's going to be abandoned with the points per game ratio coming into effect, which means that certain teams are going to be relegated and certain teams are going to be promoted. I'm obviously not going to go into too much detail because I literally only read it before we went live. So I've got a funny feeling that the Championship and the Premier League are going to go down the same route. My instincts are saying they're going to keep to the same agreement because there's an agreement between the EFL, the FA, and the Premier League about a lot of things. So I think if one league adopts one thing, the Premier League have to, and the Championship have to adopt the other. To do the same thing. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But tracking back to the Noble. But as I say, mate, neutral grounds is a ridiculous idea. Absolutely stupid. But talking about Nobes, as we were saying, because it's his 33rd birthday today. He did a video message for everyone saying, "Good morning, everyone. Mark Noble here. As you can imagine, we all want to be playing at the stadium in front of 60,000 fans doing what we do best. But at the minute, we can't. We got to stay at home. We've got to isolate and protect the NHS and everyone around us. So this is just a message from me and all the players to say thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for staying at home. And also, there is a range of online activities on the Newham website. Get yourself involved and keep busy. We really, really wish you stay safe and all your families. See you soon, hopefully. Over and out. Thank you." Great statement by Nobes. I absolutely love that. I think it's absolutely brilliant. He is a top class bloke. Really, really is. Robert says Nobes is going to need a cane soon. He's getting up there. Shut up, man. He's younger than me, and younger than Stan, and younger than Neil, and younger than Darren, and possibly Joan as well, for that matter. So don't come it, youngster. Armos says it will be snowing again in Canada. Neil says, and it's the 10th is the 10th the 40th anniversary of FA Cup win? Yes, it is, mate. Yeah, and it's also my 40th birthday on Sunday, as well, because I was born on that day. So a few little tweaks here and there, but I'm hoping going to be able to try and do the watch along if I get the projector screen that I need in time, if that comes through, which I'm hoping it will. I'll try and do it on Sunday on my birthday. If not, I'm just going to get pissed at home. But yeah, Stan said he's only been watching for 2 minutes prior to that a couple of minutes ago. So fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Henry says Mark came on as a sub in that FA Cup final 2006. Yes, he did. That was his breakthrough season. Ryan Archer, JP makes a bacon sandwich. Got a funny feeling that's a troll account, somewhat. Joan, yes, Darren, I can give you gambling tips, and you should do the opposite. Then you'll be quids in. Okay, doggy, that's something I've missed. Here we go. See, look, all the little idiots are out and false today. Where are we? Joan and Armo, can you double check the chat, please? Armo asks JP, are you worried when everything is back to normal that ticket prices will go up? They bloody better not. Because they've got to at least give us a discount for what we can't watch. They really, really have to. In terms of being a season ticket holder, they really, really should. They should give us a discount on what's going on. JP, you should consider doing these later after the children's bedtime, mate. And the feed says that these aren't for children. So how they get onto that, I don't know. But they're obviously using dodgy accounts. Armo says, Nobes is older than me. By the way, happy early birthday, GB. Cheers, mate. Thank you very, very much. Ben Davis says, 40 years since West Ham won something. Blimey. If you're not counting the playoff finals, yeah, pretty much. Ben says, yeah, have a happy birthday, JP. Thank you very much. Foes in. Hello, guys. Hope you're doing all right. Mix back again with a new photo. Hello, Gazer. Hope you're all right. Loving that picture. Really, really cool. Beats Box Dre says, you can take William for us, a good player, proper Brazilian. Hello, mate. Good to see you. It's been a couple of days, mate, since you've. Do you know what? I wouldn't say no. To be fair, I wouldn't say no to taking William. I actually quite like him. Not the right age anymore, unfortunately, but I've always liked him. I wouldn't say I wouldn't be disappointed. Yeah, that is definitely not the Ryan that I know. I will double check with him afterwards. Sofian, hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Ben says about Willian, he is a good player. Agreed, definitely. Foshizi, happy birthday, JP. Thank you. It's not till Sunday, so I may be a little bit intoxicated when I do this live conversation on Sunday night. We'll have to wait and see. I've got plenty of beer. Sofian says about, I'm guessing next season. I would love to have. I would have Dean Garner on the left, Bowen on the right, and Allaire up top. Not a bad shout, mate. Not a bad shout. As I said many times, Dean Garner's setting it alight in West Brom down the left. Ben Davis says, "What you drinking, John?" I'm on the Stella. Ben, in honour of VE Day. Where are we? There you go. Spitfire. Of course, other beers are available, just in case I get any copyright on that. Sofian says, to be fair, you can't beat a lot of experience. Agreed. Talking of experience, Mick says that wouldn't be Spitfire drinking. Just showing it, mate. Yes, it is. Well done. See, the man knows his beer. The man knows his beer. Armo, would you rather have West Ham relegate and have the owners leave, or win the FA Cup one more time and have the owners stay for 10 more years? That's a hard one. Harry, that's a bloody hard one, that is, mate. I mean, the owners haven't done too bad over the last 10 years, to be fair. Bar the relegation and a few little things here and there, they've could have done things a lot worse. I'm not happy with them in any shape or form about a lot of things, as I've made it very, very clear over the last couple of years. But win the FA Cup and have them for another decade, or get relegated and they leave. What happens if we win the FA Cup and we are relegated at the same season? Aha! Put that one back to you. Jones says you'll have a few good birthday celebrations when you release from. God, yes. I was supposed to be literally tomorrow. I was supposed to be flying out while we were supposed to be playing Man United away. Supposed to be flying out on holiday for a week. So believe me, I'm going to be drinking like crazy when we're back to normal. Win the FA Cup and we will be happy for the next 10 years. Yeah. See your point, Joe. See your point, 100%. They have done really bad, but I literally dream about us lifting the FA Cup, so option B. So they could have done other things a lot worse, mate. They could have done, think about it. Yeah, I know they piss us around on a few little bits here and there, but they could have done a lot worse. They could have got us relegated years ago. They could have got us down to League One. They've done everything possible, not in the best of ways, but everything possible to try and keep us up for the ways that they've been doing it. They've tried. They've not succeeded properly, but they've tried. So I give them points for that, but massive deductions for a lot of things. Armo says, then we do a Wigan and go down to League One. Yeah, fair point, mate. Fair point. Okay, now I was reading earlier today, because obviously we talked about Ngakou's contract yesterday, and apparently, I mean, as I said, there's no need to panic over this at the minute, because it's there's loads of things that are going to happen. There's going to be loads of things that are going to happen. There's plenty of time for him to sign the contract, etc., etc. But one of the reasons apparently was the fact that he's changing agents for one. So I'm hoping if the information that Clarence you put up today was true, and that I really, really hope he gets an agent that sees he has his best interests at heart instead of seeing him as a cash grab that a lot of football agents do. And it's so I'm fingers crossed I'm going to get something out of that. Sofiane, I can't believe what you're saying. Well, it's true. They could have done things a lot worse, mate. I mean, I don't know. The previous owners had the best intentions, but the Icelandic bank crash killed them. Literally, well, not literally because they're still alive, but they killed the plans. And so they tried to sell as quickly as possible. Which ended up the two Davids getting a very, very good deal for the club because that's what they're always after. It's just honestly, mate, properly think about it because things could be a lot worse than they are, but they could be a lot better as well. Big boy Barry 1970, hello mate, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a few weeks. Well, at least a few days. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing all right as well. Mick says this could be the worst year to be relegated money wise. Agreed. It's a real shame for anybody because it's all going to be hanging over their heads. They got relegated because of the circumstances and not because of the football. That's awful. Sofiane says if Ngaki leaves, I'm going to cry a lot. We've seen worse players and better players leave than him, mate. To be fair. Armo says hopefully he doesn't get Oxford's agent. Yes, yeah. Joan, none and void all of the leagues. Yeah. Barry asks, do you play Fortnite? No, I'm too old for that. I don't know on games console. I don't. Yeah, Sophie, yes, that cracked me up when Nikki put that up earlier today. Roses are red, violets are blue, and we couldn't score against Astra fucking Gugu. That was brilliant. The road to hell was being paved with good intentions, JP. Yeah, everything that has been bad, that has been created badly, has been on the road to hell. As that has been with good intentions. The man that discovered how to split the atom had good intentions about harnessing that power, and they ended up making H-bombs. So, yeah, well, the real Ryan wouldn't send that message. So, adios, amigos. Right, so yeah, Barry says I was playing with a lot of kids earlier. Fortnite, I mean, mate, I was gonna say. Henry said Birmingham did say that they are a nightmare. They are, and as I said, things could have been a lot better, and things could have been a lot worse. Yeah, and Sofian figured out why. Yeah, as I said, mate, he's not. FB, sorry, PB even. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're all right. So Joan, if you're still here, and Darren, if you're still here, because you guys and Armo as well, for that matter, you guys are moderators. So please moderate the chat for me because it's very difficult for me to do this and keep the conversation going at the same time. Sofiane says, mate, FIFA is awful. Are you referring to the Football Association or are you talking about the game? I'm guessing you're talking about the game. There we go. Yeah. FIFA 20 is probably the worst I played. Yeah, but I bet you're still playing it though, mate, aren't you? I bet you're still playing it. Okay. Thank you, Joan. That video of Dom after the Europa League qualifier put West Ham TV on the map. Well, it put, yeah, because it's still one of their highest rate viewed videos ever, and that's a lot for their background. Mixers, what was the first riff you learnt? The first one I learnt, I taught myself. Actually, it's not really a riff. I mean, it is a riff, but it's not. Is Fields of Gold, the solo that's in Fields of Gold, the Sting song, which, by the way, is in the set list for the gig. I was never actually taught any riffs. because I did have a few lessons at school, but I was random when I had my GCSEs because my dad wouldn't let me play the guitar until I was in my mid to late teens. It was too late by then. Sophian says no, he stopped playing FIFA. Yeah, all right. I was playing it before Ramadan, but now I'm fasting. I can't be asked. I mean, I think you mean asked rather than asked. But yeah, Barry says, what do you think about the batty boy Trent Arnold? I don't think he's gay, mate, so don't send messages like that, please. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, is a very, very talented player. He's a very talented player. Ben says about FIFA, so, yep, said Blatter is a prat. Sophian says the first pub he went to, I don't know why I'm asking this, to be honest. Mate, it's not long till the sun sets, fellas, so, you know. The first pub I ever went to, at least that I remember went. Do you mean that I've drank in, or that I've actually visited? The first ever pub that I actually physically went to, or the first pub I ever drank in? The first pub I ever visited was the Royal Oak in New Malden, because my dad's orchestra used to rehearse in the loft upstairs in the pub in the early 80s, early to mid 80s. So that's the first pub that I went to. The first pub that I drank in was where was it? I think there's a Linton Tree in Epsom, which is now, it's not Linton Tree anymore. There's a swanky. I think it's a Tap now in Epsom. But that was the first place I got drunk in. I think it was either that or the Spoons in Kingston's. One of the two. I can't remember. It's been a long, long time ago. Sophie says your first West Ham kit. I'll show you that actually. Mine was 2010-11 white away with Clue with the 2011 white away kit with the blue and claret stripes across the middle. I'll show you. I think I've still got it. Hang on. There you go. That's my first one. What I call the Dean Ashton, because and as you do always do. There. That's my first ever West Ham kit. 2006-7, I think it was, or 7-8. One of the two. But yeah, my first ever kit. Because my West Ham, my family weren't very into football, unfortunately, when I was growing up, so I had to buy it myself, and it took a long time to do it. Barry says, very sorry, John. Forgive me. I very lost my wife. I don't want to lose you. Well, you're not going to lose me, mate. Unfortunately, I'm here for a long time. There you go. I think Ben says, do you think the cup competitions? Honestly, I'm talking a heat stroke. Do you think the cup competitions will be scrapped for next season? Very possibly. Very, very possibly. I don't want them to, but very possibly. And yeah, the XL. Yeah, that's how long ago it was, mate. Question: was watching the Millwall match? Yeah, my tongue was watching the Millwall match yesterday that West Ham United channel had on. The Millwall support were confined to an upper tier, with the lower tier being empty. Was that typical or just a special precaution? Wally, I was there for that game. I got a throat infection from that bloody game. Yeah, I got a throat infection from that. It wasn't fun. It was bloody cold that day. I know it doesn't look it on the telly, but trust me, that was late January, early February, I think. It was cold, very, very cold. All the pubs in a 5-mile radius of the football ground were closed. Even the supporters club. Mick will be able to remember that as well, for that matter, if he's still here. But yes, it was an extra precaution. When we played Man United at home, in the League Cup, Man United had the whole of the Trevor Brooking upper and lower. So in that game, it was the Trevor Brooking upper that they were pinned to, because they didn't want to risk anybody being around anyone else. Mate, you ain't a dumb yank. Come on, just late to the party like a lot of people. Thank you, Janie. It is a nice shirt. Online driller, hello, Gaze. And by the way, mate, you were completely correct. That wasn't Jay. Geo from Hammers Chat contacted me the day after and confirmed it wasn't him. So I'll be very surprised if we see him again. But what hurt more, Gerrard in 2006 against us, or the relegation in 2011? That's a good question, actually. To be honest with you, I think the Gerrard's goal, because that was a bad mistake by our defender, really sloppy mistake, and that was what really hurt. That's what really hurt. I mean, the 2011, the 10-11 season relegation, it was coming. You could see it was coming. We lost Dad in that January, so I vented a lot. A lot of anger management was done on those days. But yeah. So Sophie N says relegation in 2011. Not for me. It's that cup final did it, because we were brilliant that whole game. You know, we had 20 seconds of misjudgment, and that's it. It's an equaliser. It was pain. That really hurt. Barry says, I was very sad when she died after life was cut short after only 9 years. I'm sorry to hear that, Barry. I really am, mate. Of marriage, I meant. Yeah, I get that, mate. We are sorry to hear it, mate. And I hope you're doing okay under these circumstances. I really do. Sofian says, I remember that game. Oh my God, Cole scored the beauty. I'm guessing the FA Cup final, because it was only the Winston Reid's header that got us through for the Millwall game. Mick says that's the norm for Millwall, home and away. Yeah, see, I know you'd know. Yeah. I told you, lads. Now you believe me, mate. At the end of the day, it's nothing to get proud about. It's just the fact that, you know, there's a lot of people that because I know, because he's been around. He was commenting around on Hammers, on the three Hammers as well, for that matter. But yeah, Ben Davis Cup final. Yeah, agreed. Someone made a fake Hammer and talk. Well, there's a fake Ryan Archer here as well, for that matter, as well. They're just little idiots wanting to. A driller, get over yourself. Get over yourself. Ben Davis is bloody Scaloni. Nobody's got to apologise for you, mate. We didn't say none of us said you were wrong. None of us said you were wrong, so there's no need for that. Where are we? So Armo says West Ham was like England on penalties. It literally, mate. Because I remember I watched, obviously watching the FA Cup final that went to penalties. England versus Portugal went to penalties a couple of months later. Yeah, I was literally for both penalties. I was sitting there on the sofa like that with a pillow. I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't handle it. So everyone's relegation in 2011 was my first real memory of West Ham. Yeah, understandable. Dan thought I said it. I thought it was a real draw. Was the real J driller? Well done. Sophie says it was 2-1. Was it? I just, all I remember is, because I was in a lot of pain that day, because I could hardly say anything. All I remember is Winston Reid. So I'm gonna have to watch that back. But I take your word. I take your word for it, mate. Wally says, thanks for Millwall answers. Cheers. You're welcome. Any day, mate. Barry, I think, is another troll account, unfortunately. Ryan A. Ryan seems a lovely bloke. I've met him a few times. He's a good guy. It's a good bloke. I like him. It's a good bloke. Right. Okay. So while the chat's coming, is settling down a little bit. Jack Sullivan said that he wants to return hopefully to West Ham at some point once he does his once he does his coaching badges in the US. Now I know what the answer is going to be, but I'm going to answer you guys. I'm going to answer you guys the question anyway. I'm going to ask you it. Would you want to see Jack Connaughton back? Because he was training the under 16s before he got the call to go to the States. Would you want to go back to the under 16s? Would you want to go to the under 18s? Would you want him for the under 21s and then progress, like kind of like how Gareth Southgate did with England? He was manager of the under 21s and then was promoted to the England team, the men's team, men's senior team. Would you want Jack Connaughton to go exactly the same sort of route? Thinking theme parts. Hi John, what's up, buddy? Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Mixed messages. Have you ever found your name on the founders wall? I think I did, actually, mate. I think I did. Actually, no, I'm telling you, I thought I tried looking for it and I just gave up. I gave up at one point because it's not in any discernible order. But let me know if you did. Let me know if you did. Jones says would love to have Jack Connaughton. Yeah, Robert agrees with you. Almost says why not let him take on the under 21s. Yeah, Steve Potts is doing quite a good job with him. To be fair, he came out the other day saying how impressed he is with how the under 21s are going. So maybe have him as an assistant in that case. But personally, yes, I would have him. I would have him move up the table. I would literally have him move up the leagues from doing the 16s to the 18s to 21, and then get into the first team. That's the only way to really blood yourself in as a manager. Darren says yes. Sophiane says Jack Sullivan is a very good owner. To be fair, Jack Sullivan doesn't own the club. Oh, you're talking about the women's. He got the ladies' team to a Women's Cup final. Would you want him as a future owner? I don't know, mate. I wouldn't have thought so. Jack Connaughton is a legend. Needs to work with the under 23s, then ahead of the youth team development, in my opinion. So yeah. Vose is kind of thinking along the same sort of lines. Sophian's up for it. The West Ham fan, John, why did you block Barry's my uncle and he's crying his eyes? I haven't blocked him. Jack is a great football brain. PB says I would put him in the under 16s, then 18s, then 21, then first teams to get some experience. So PB's agreeing with me. Mixed messages. I'm a Smith, no chance. Not really sure what you're talking about there, Mick, if I'm honest, but yeah. Our Icelandic viewer, what ex-player would you have working with the current team, and what would you have them doing, i.e. Di Canio as a coach? Oh, that is a very, very good question, my friend. Very, very good question. I haven't blocked him. I literally haven't blocked him. Guys, for the last time, I haven't blocked Barry. All right. So why would you say that? His messages are coming up in the chat. So why are you saying I blocked him? I haven't. So stop, guys. Seriously, stop this. Okay. We're trying to have a conversation and stop trying to have conversations like this. But in terms of that, Yeah, I would have. I'd have Carlton Cole, to be honest, because he's assistant for the kids. So yeah, I'd have him I'd have an assistant as the kids. I'd have promoting up that way. I really would. I'd have Carlton Cole. Di Canio as a coach wouldn't be advisable. As great as a player he is, he's unstable, which is why he hasn't lasted very long or wherever he's gone to manage. Fantastic player. I'm not saying anything to the not saying anything to the facts of but yeah. Sophie Ann says Jack Collison is not a legend, he's a cult hero. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Henry says why not? He knows the club inside out. Yeah, agreed. Sophie Ann says happy birthday to the goat that is Mark Noble, 33 years old. Yeah, we were talking about it at the start of the program. Kind of contradict yourself from what you said a couple of days ago, mate, but yeah. Joan says great shout for Carlton, and I didn't put Barry in a timeout either for that matter. PB says I think getting explosives is a great idea because it gets the players motivated more. Yeah, it will pump them up. It will definitely pump them up. 100%. Sophie Ann asks, what is the player that made you fall in love with football? For me, was Scott Parker. It was Dean Ashton, actually. From a West Ham point of view, it was Dean Ashton. From England point of view, it was Gary Lineker and Gaza at Italia 90. Which, guys, if you haven't already watched it, I did the watch along with when it was released on BBC, the Italian 90 semi-final with West Germany. I did a watch along with that. Good conversation that was as well at that time. Henry says, do we need a new director of football? Well, we haven't got one at the minute. So technically, yes, because it's Jack Sullivan heading everything up again. Which, to be fair, Jack's sorry, Dave Sullivan. Sorry, Dave Sullivan was holding up, not Jack. To be fair, no, he's not done too badly. To be honest with Dave Sullivan, it's just the fact that he's thrown each manager under the bus for a few things. But he brought in some classics. He brought in some really, really good players. You know, he scouted and brought in. He brought in and scouted and brought in Issa Diop for one. He also brought in Alex Song. He brought in quite a few players actually, which he went very, very quiet about. Sophie says about Noble, said love him, trust me, he's like a dad to me, but I still unfortunately stand by what I said 2 days ago. Well, he's not the greatest ever, then is he? He's not the greatest of all time. If you say saying what that says. Barry says, do you want to play FIFA later? And then I don't know what, but I'll have a great. I don't play FIFA, as I said earlier. I don't have a games console. Armo says, ask JP, can you name a whole West Ham coaching staff of former players? I could. Can't do it now, but I could. Because they've all got individuals. I'd say for defensive coaching, I would put in the Aussie. Oh God, what was his name? Man that loved having a few own goals every season. He used to play the number 6. I can't remember his name. I can see his bloody face. It'll come back to me in a minute. But I'd have him and I'd have him and Frank Lampard Senior as a goal coach, as defensive coaches. But apparently Lampard Senior isn't all that good as a coach, which I found I found very, very interesting. Midfield, I would say 100% bring in Trevor Brooking, get that real fight back again. And for attacking, as I say, Cotton Cole. Barry, please stop this. Otherwise, you will be suspended out of the permanently, because this is getting out of hand. Guys, please monitor the chat. There's no shouting in this here, please. Come on. Sofian, do we need a whole new boardroom? I don't know. I've never seen the boardroom. Do you mean we need a whole new board? But in terms of do we need a new board? Yes, we do, because our current board only have self-interest. Sofian will sort that out in a little while, mate. All right. Armo says David James is goalkeeping coach. Yeah, but to be honest with you, I would keep our ex-Liverpool coach, Xavi, whatever his name is. I think he's done wonders. Lucas Neal, thank you very much. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, Lucas Neal, thank you. So I can name it. I could do everything. I'm terrible with names. I really am terrible with names. Sofian says, I wish it was still 2016 and we had Bilic as manager, Payet in the bowling. Two of the three, I agree with that. Fo says Ginge as a defensive coach. Yeah. Armo says DeCanio as an attacking coach. Yep, I see your point. You hinted at that in the question you asked. Fo Sheezy says Joe Cole as a technique coach. Yeah, that would be cool. Ben says Rio Ferdinand as a defensive coach. Right, Sofian, you are now. All right, so you are now a mod, mate. So I trust you on this, because I'm saying, I've already said don't shout, and people are still shouting in the chat. This is a conversation. This isn't all about you guys. All right, this is a conversation. Sofian says Scott Parker as future manager. Could very well happen. Depends how he gets on. It's way too early, but yes, future. If he keeps going the way that he's going, yep. Sofian says I actually wanted him instead of Moyes. Yeah, but he's unproven. And yes, all right, he's doing well in the championship, but guys, it's the championship. There's no disrespect to the players and the teams in there, but it is but it is what it is, unfortunately. Fo Cheesy says Shaka Hislop with goalkeeper coach. Good shout. Really disappointed me after he went for how he played in goal for Trinidad and Tobago. Literally the game that ended Dean Ashton's career. Ben Davis is Scott Parker ex McDonald's. BB asks if it ever came about, would you expect Frank Lampard? Expect him for what? Expect him what? As manager or as coach? He's a very, very talented man, and I said on many occasions, PB. I said on many occasions that we did him badly. We really screwed his family over. We really did. If you think about it as a supporter base, we got absolutely on Lampard Jr.'s back, and we got on, and as a club, we screwed over Lampard Sr. John says, thinking theme park says, Snog, marry, killed Lanzini and Outovich and Moyes. Well, kill and Outovich all day long. I'd have to say Snog, Lanzini and marry Moyes. West Ham fan asks, can you make me a mod? I've watched you for 8 months. It's not about watching time, mate. It's about your attitude, and your attitude has been bad at the moment. Trying to get attention all the time. It's not what this channel's about. There's other channels that will do that. This isn't what this channel's about. Sofian says, if we won in 2006, do you think we would be any different now? No. I guess you won the cup. Yeah, I don't think we will. I don't think we will. We'd have 7 or 8 extra million quid in the bank, but that would be it. They would have spanked it anywhere. PB as manager. Yeah, as I said, yeah, that's what I thought you were. That's what I saw. As I said, mate, I think he's a very, very talented man. He loves West Ham. You can tell he loves West Ham. Which is why he tries to sit on the fence as much as he can, because he doesn't want to say anything to piss people off. But at the same point, he does. But he's got a lot of and very good reason to be angry with the supporter base. Very good reason. Armo says Greg Forrest for goalkeeping coach. He's Canadian. So expand on that, please, mate. Sofian says Mary Lanzini, kill Arnautovic and Snog Moyes. I don't even know who Geezer is. Right, okay, so we're coming up to the end of it now. So one quick question, guys. Actually, 2, if we can cram it in, because we're going to go for a little bit longer, because there's been certain people that have been trying to make it all about them. Now, the old story that Sean Dyche approached the club back in December has come up again, because there's nothing else to talk about from certain websites' point of view. So, guys, I'm seriously interested about this. Really interested about this. If Moyes goes at some point, would you take Sean Dyche even as manager for West Ham? Let me know your thoughts, because I would. At some point, I would. I like Dyche. I like his thinking. He's done very, very well for Burnley on a very restricted budget. But let me know what your thoughts are. Thinking theme parks. John, do you have West Ham tattoo? No, I don't. Don't have any tattoos at all. Armo says he's Canadian like me and is a very smart man. Knows a lot. I've met him. Cool. Fair enough. Sophie says Sean Dyche. Let's do it. Barry, you have no reason to report me, but go for it, son. Absolutely go for it. I'm not scared of anybody. That's not the reason. Honestly, John, I only ever listen to West Ham rumours from X. Agreed, 100%. X was asked the question, and he gave the response, which prompted the article again. What else is Dyche? I would take him. Yeah, 100%. Fo says Dyche is not my cup of tea. I like his Darth Vader voice. Yeah, well, he's not everybody's. Wally just said reactors. Yeah, I like Dyche. He could be manager. Jones says prefer Moyes. Dyche is very good, but he would be another Sam. Yeah, he would. But there's some, to be honest, Joan, that's not necessarily bad at this point. Ian Stoltz, hello mate, good to see you again. I will take him as manager. Darren says this is the reason for one. His teams are hardworking. He's talking about Dyche. Again, that's fine. I would absolutely, I agree with that 100%. PB, I would like to see how Moyes does, but then try Sean. Yeah. Thinking theme parks says John, your streams are amazing. They make me happier than a fish. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult there, mate, but thank you anyway. Mark Kerslake, good to hear from him again. I actually think Moyes could be good for us. This crisis has screwed big money from now on. Agreed. Moyes wants to bring in good English lower league talent and nurture our own, which will do for me. Yeah, agreed, Mark, 100%. And Dyche would do exactly the same thing. Dyche isn't let's go out and look for flashy players. Armo says you take Howe. For what reason? Just out of interest. So everyone's going I'm going to be like Mark Noble in this mod job. Mick says, not for his first choice, but we need stability. Leave Moyes. Jones says, hopefully Moyes will get us in order. He deserves a fair chance. No good changing again. Fair point. Yeah, I said, but we all know as well as we all know, Joan, that he is going to go. He's going to go. He's going to go at some point. Unfortunately, I mean, all managers do, and this was his argument that they get sacked too quickly. But in Moyes' case, I hope he does. I hope he does stay quite long. Foshi said we need to hire a director of football on a 5 to 6 year contract who must oversee and supersede the manager. Yes and no. Manager needs to work with the director of football, not be told what to do. That's Dave Sullivan. That's what Dave Sullivan does for you. That's what he does. As simple as that. So I know what you mean, but Jones says Howe has had a big budget, but Bournemouth not that great this season. Yeah, all managers get found out and they run out of ideas, which is when they get sacked. Unfortunately, let's not forget that Bournemouth are Seek owned. They're not massively Man City style Seek owned, but they are Seek owned, so they do have good financial clout, but they spend it in the right way. Theme Park says, I want to dance at the pitch side one day to Michael Jackson music. Okay. There's still a few trolls by there by looks of it. Hello, Pete. Must give Moyes a fair crack of the whip this time round. Agreed, 100%. Armo says Howe has proven he can do a lot with a little. Yep. We don't need to buy stars. We need to develop our managers and so show faith, like Howe has done at Bournemouth. Yeah, and like how Dyche has done with Burnley. Exactly the same thinking. So they are relatively, from one point of view, they are the same. They are the same type of manager. And we need a football philosophy, John. We chop and change every time we replace a manager. All clubs do. That's the stupid thing. All clubs do. And one final thing. Now, we talked about this live a couple of weeks ago, but as there's a few more people involved in this conversation than then, there are 6 players within the next 2 years that are going to be out of contract. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Lucas Fabianski's out of contract next season at 36. Noble 34. Martin 34. Ogbonna 31, who's out of contract in 2022. Snodgrass is out next year, but with an option, a year's option of 3 years. And Mikel Antonio is 31 and will be looking for a new deal next year as well. Out of all of those, so Fabianski, Nobes, Martin, Ogbonna, and Snodgrass and Antonio. Which out of that lot would you keep, and which ones would you get rid of? Let me know. Theme Parks says our football is very negative against big teams. Armo says Howe is more attacking than Dyche. It's more attacking. Dyche is boring. Yes and no, but they wouldn't be in the league where they are, mate. If otherwise. Foshizi, not wrong. Not well-run clubs, mate. Yeah. PB says I think Moyes has already shown what type of players he wants with him, bringing in Bowen. I don't think that's him. I don't think it's him. I really, really don't. I think that's a Sullivan jobby again. I really do, or somebody, because I don't think it is. I really don't. I think he said it because Sullivan said, right, we want to be buying in cheap English players, and that's what I reckon. That's what I reckon it is. James says, I get your point, Armo. I just don't fancy Howe, but my predictive skills are under review. That's putting it lightly. And Rick, thank you very much, mate, for the £2. That's much appreciated. Stop spending. Stop bloody spending. It's nice for you to donate all the time, mate, but stop it. Look after yourself, mate. Look after yourself. Ogsnoz, Antonio, Noble stay. Fabianski has been good, but he's old. Goalies can last for a long time, and we need to give Trotton and Ang a chance. Also, Martin and Roberto can go. Agreed, 100%. Darren, I'll let you off this one because it's early, very early doors over there for where you are, mate. I forgot the list of players: Fabianski, Noble, Martin, Ogbonna, Snodgrass, and Antonio. Mark Kerslake, how would you get the best out of Lanzini now? Since his injury, he is scared, top player on his day, but seems to have lost his mojo stroke confidence. Good question there, Mark. Very, very good question. I just tell him to buck up, buck your ideas up. You know, you want a shitload of money, son. You want a shitload of money, go out and prove it. There's nothing physically wrong with him. It's mental, remember, so he needs support. From us as fan base, more than anything else. But yeah, it was so. And one final question: favorite away ground? Thinking theme parks, mate. Favorite away ground's Wembley. Love. It's a great away ground. But Premier League wise, I'd say. It might be a little bit controversial, and it's always quite a bit fun to finish on a controversial opinion. But I would say Stamford Bridge. I like Stamford Bridge. I think it's a great football stadium. It's a class. It's a proper West. It's a proper. I was going to say proper West Ham, but it's proper football ground as far as I'm concerned. I haven't been too many ones, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, that's it. We've run over a little bit of time now. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're new around here, welcome. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow evening, as always, for the next thrilling installment of Daily Live Chat with John. And yeah, so we will keep it there. Have a good enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow.